Here's 3 players that Liverpool should sign to start rebuilding their midfield. Oh, this is a tough one. I know the Liverpool fan base is a mess right now, so please give me some comfort while I try and explain this video. In all seriousness, I'm firmly in the camp that Liverpool have completely underestimated how much surgery needs to be done to the middle of the park, and really the whole squad. Fabinho and Henderson have received criticism this season, while the Oaks, Milner and Naby Keita are out of contract in the summer. Also, Thiago is out of contract next summer. So here's 3 lads that I think 1 could make an impact now, or 2 could make an impact by arriving in the summer, and 3 won't cost too much to make sure Liverpool could still go all out for Jude Bellingham. Let's start at the base of midfield with 29-year-old Fabinho. Now, I'm the European football expert, I'm not Liverpool expert, I'm a neutral, I don't support a team anyway, and I didn't really get to watch a lot of Fabinho this season, so I struggled to see the criticism, especially since his stats haven't really changed. Luckily, I was able to reach out to Houssem Aouar, one of, if not the best speaking mind on Liverpool. He outlined how Fabinho has been exposed this season by a poor system, he's been a victim of it, and he doesn't really cover ground as well. So I think he will bounce back, but it's good to get a younger recruit in who could cover ground well and step up when Fabinho really begins to fade out. At first I went to Amadou Onana of Everton because I think they'll get relegated and he could be cheap, but I messaged Grizz Khan about this, a Liverpool home and away fan, and he said don't do that. So that's led me to Manuel Ugarte. He's a Uruguayan 21-year-old defensive midfielder at Sporting, and he really got on my radar last season when Sporting battered Benfica 3-1 away from home, and Ugarte ran the game, not only in winning the ball back but also regulating the tempo of the game. Ugarte operates in a midfield pivot for Sporting, but as seen by his heat map, he is the more defensive presence. He came through in South America as more of a deep line playmaker too, but now he specialises in the ball winning. In fact, Ugarte sits top of Premier League right now for tackles and interceptions per 90, which is crazy considering he's one of the most dominant teams in the league. That shows how productive he is defensively, and he's also really good at escaping tight spaces. There might be rough edges to his game, but since Liverpool know the Portuguese market so well, they really should step in here. Next up, we're replacing Jordan Henderson. Now, as mentioned, I don't know Liverpool anywhere near as well as a fan of them, but I know Jordan Henderson is coming under rightful criticism this season. Positionally, he's caught out more, his pass success is at an all-time low now, so we need a more mobile midfielder who is more ball secure and decent in the final third, but will get back to defend. So I thought of a player who's Champions League level, who could be signed out, I think, for not too much money and has been underutilised at his club. And it's Franck. At Barcelona this season, he's played just 250 La Liga minutes. He didn't have a great night in the Copa del Rey the other day, but I think the waste of talent on display is criminal. Kessie at AC Milan operated in a double pivot role, and his responsibility was to help break up play defensively, a little like a defensive midfielder, but take up more advanced positions in pockets of space to then help shift it to more attacking players. He's also a very aggressive presser, adding intensity that I think Liverpool lack right now. In his final season in Serie A, Kessie completed the 4th most progressive passes per 90 in the Milan squad, so while it shows his overall number isn't that impressive compared to other midfielders in Europe, in Milan they still relied on it. He's also got a pretty spotless injury record. Finally, if Liverpool do bring in Bellingham in the summer, Kessie can still play a good rotation role. And since Barcelona signed him on a free in the summer, I think they'd be willing to let him go now, since they're still a bit cash strapped. I say it's at least worth considering. Now finally, we're going to provide cover / backup / replacement for Thiago, a final third operating midfielder who's great with his passing and will create a lot more goals. Again, this is a position that Bellingham can play, so you don't want to go all out here. And if you're going for someone cheap, then the really obvious suggestion would be Ugarte in the summer when his contract is out. But that's a sensible transfer. Over here on the Euro Expert channel, we're for bold transfers. That's why I have gone for Houssem Aouar. Now, I know his attitude has been a little murky in the past. He's only made 7 appearances this season, and he's kind of fallen off since he got in the team of the season in the Champions League in 2020. But there is a phenomenal player under the bonnet. Also, Lyon have been woeful in the last 2 seasons, so to have 11 goals and assists in your last 35 league starts isn't actually that bad. Where Aouar plays for Lyon is tricky. He's used between left wing and left central midfield, which is partly down to the fact that he's a mesmeric dribbler and chance creator, but also because his defensive work and pressing isn't the most intense. Still, Aouar sits in the top 15% of midfielders in Europe over the last 365 days for expected assisted goals per 90. Also, last season he put up 2.5 successful dribbles per 90, which for context, in the Liverpool squad of anyone who's played over a 90, only Luis Diaz has averaged more than 1.5 per 90. His contract is also up in the summer, so on a free transfer, I think the risk is low. I think it's worth looking at. You get the worst out of him, you sell him. You get the best out of him, you've got an elite chance creator and dribbler in the final third. Now we have a much more mobile and energetic midfield, with Ugarte able to screen and play passes into the final third, Kessie as a dynamo who can press hard and take up clever positions while defending, and Aouar as a playmaker and a creator of havoc, and someone who can bypass opponents by dribbling well. As I hope I made clear in this video, I didn't know Liverpool too well before going into this, but I really tried to make an effort to talk to the fans and try and gain an understanding of the real problems that you guys are frustrated with. I hope I did a good job. If I didn't, please let me know down below and how I can improve. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.